La memoria del hombre no es una suma, es un desorden de posibilidades indefinidas, which means man's memory is not a summation, it is a chaos of vague possibilities. That's what memory is, the possibility of something. And I love that. When I start each piece, I typically access a memory, and I have a few that I keep going to. In my grandmother's apartment, she had these shades with little holes in them. So the sun would create these lovely patterns on the floor. I just vividly remember laying on the floor and looking at these patterns of sunlight. I'm using that memory of the patterns of sunlight almost as a stand-in for larger things. I was born in Israel. My father is from Argentina, and my mother is Israeli. When I was 5, we moved to Mexico City, and I lived there for 10 years, and then finished high school in Costa Rica. And then I came to the States for college. And as I grew up, I never felt like I really belonged in any of the places where we lived, and that sense of foreignness was always a part of who I was. And when I started making work, I was really interested in personal identity and what that meant. And that's what brought me to this body of work, which is called Charted Memories, and it's this large-scale series. And each piece starts with a specific memory. When I started using personal memories, sort of mining fragments of visual memories, of places, of people, I think in a way it helped me think through what my identity was. So I grew up in Mexico City, and I was really attracted to the really intense, saturated colors that are in all these Mexican crafts. And especially with the fabrics, the textiles, the geometric shapes, the time-intensive, laborious, slow work that goes into making these beautiful crafts. How it's all about imperfections. And this too, you can see the labor. You can see the time that these things take to make. And it's really impressive. The lines that become shapes, that become patterns, are these units of time. And it's almost like I'm recording time as I'm working. It's a very almost meditative process. I do feel when I'm working that time has slowed down, and I'm almost in this parallel universe where I go through time as I'm working, and I understand things that I don't understand when I am outside of it. So I was reading stories or novels about memory, how memory is connected to personal identity, how we all carry our memories with us, and how they shape us. And, you know, reading stuff and thinking about stuff just led me to actually look at the brain and read about neurotransmitters. This was one of the images that came up. And I love that it looks like exactly what I'm doing. So disheartening. I'm not that original. It's this mesh, this giant, intricate structure of neurotransmitters. And it's just made up of these teeny little shapes. They're all connected and energized and pulsating. Every time we remember something, we are recreating it and adapting it on top of an earlier recreation of that memory. And as I was working, I thought that was really fitting because I do work in layers. And there's something about the watercolor that allows you to see the layer underneath. So you can see both the history of the actual painting itself, how it's being built, but also it gives you the sense that everything is not really what it may seem on the surface. I really love working. Sometimes I feel like I'm my best self when it's just me on the paper. Each piece has become a map of a memory that is connected to a place or a time in my life, looking for belonging or looking for home, all these things, especially having grown up in all these different places. And all together, they do form some sort of visual document of personal identity.